Just gonna move the car forwards and back. Oh.
Jesus Christ!
That wasn't much.
This is why you don't buy a cheap steering wheel. Ta-da!
SR20, baby. Oh yeah, one sec.
Bit muddy.
Very muddy,
Bit muddy.
That's actually part of the clutch, as you guys can see. Whoa! It's hot.
Nom nom.
Good morning, you absolute lovelies. Welcome back to another cheeky episode on the Mk2 Golf GTI. The weather is not so nice today, but it is December, so we can kind of forgive it. Hopefully you guys are all doing well leading up to Skibber's and you've done all your Christmas shopping. I've just driven to the farm shop and it's fucking closed. One day I will remember that it's not actually open on a Monday. Alas, look what we got here. To you it looks like a box, but this is the brand new, well, the second-hand Mk2 original Golf steering wheel. As you guys know, we have the Wish steering wheel here, which is absolutely terrible. We'll kind of show you guys once we get to the farm how bendy this thing really is. Quite literally, absolutely shocking. How cool is this as well? Check me out. We've actually got Bluetooth audio on the Golf, so this literally does have more mod cons than my Ovlov. I'll probably give the Golf a little bit of a clean as well. The weather's meant to be a little bit nicer later on, so I'll give her a bit of a clean because she has got a little bit dirty over the last few days. As you guys can tell, I have literally fallen in love with this car. It quite literally is my favourite car in my fleet at the moment. Oh, baby. There's just something about driving it that just makes you smile. It's kind of very retro, it's very old school to look at, and it's got a lot of character, it's got a lot of charm. Literally driving through a fucking river. Anyhow, enough jibber jabber. I will see you guys up at the farm in about 10 minutes. Sick. Carson performance. Quickly show you the beautiful array of cars that Scousy's got in at the moment for a few bits and bobs. We've got the Pulsar, which you guys saw in the last episode. Cool looking white S15 spec car in the corner. R32 GTS, GT86. Another cool looking black S15 over there. Mr. Wizzo's skid car hiding in the corner. Mr. Peden's S15 looking cool. Believe Scousy's doing a bit of work after he's finished working on the BMW E46. As promised, steering wheel. Let's have a little gander inside. Look at that. What an absolute peak. So this is an original 16 valve Mk2 GTI steering wheel. Pretty good condition, as you guys can see. Obviously a little bit of wear over time. There was a few out there available and some of them were much worse than this. This was the best one I could find. There we go, looking pretty fresh. Obviously this is the old one, complete with the old NOS button. Extremely bendy, as you guys can see. Very, very dangerous. First step is obviously undoing all of the Allen key bolts. Right, that's the steering wheel removed. Next we'll just undo the electrical connectors on the horn. Right, one Chinese wheel successfully removed.
NOS, baby.
Next up, I'm just going to undo the hub nut, which is a 24mm, if you're wondering. Right, that's the nut undone. Slide off. I've taken the new wheel apart, as you guys can see. That's the little bit which sits over the front of the wheel. I'm not sure if we're actually missing any parts, because once you put it all together, there's no actual sort of spring. There's no way of actually pressing the horn and it releasing itself. So I'm not sure if I'm actually missing something. Feel free to let me know in the comment section. For now, I can get the wheel on. We just can't actually get the horn working. Once the wheel's on, you've got this little plastic cap which goes over the top, and they're the little holes for the horn wires. So I'll post these through there like that. First thing I'm going to do is just put the little washer back on and then put the little nut in place. Like I said, yeah, I'm not sure if that's how the horn's meant to work or if it's meant to be a little bit more springy. And I must say, it looks 20 times better. I'm just going to move the car forwards and back. Oh. Shit, man. I think we'll leave these disconnected for now until I can work out what the hell's going on. Oh man, the steering is so much easier now. Jesus Christ, it almost feels like the car's got power steering. I think it's not quite straight. I think it needs to go one to the left. Sweet. Right, I'm just going to give that a little try. Probably best just to leave it all apart rather than putting it back together. Right, happy days. This steering wheel is nice and straight. I'm just going to put the little plastic cap back on. Definitely a massive improvement. I think that looks 10 times better. Feel free to let us know. Do you prefer the old Wish steering wheel, or are you a believer in the OEM goodness? Let us know. Jamie K, welcome back. Good looking man. We're now going to do a little demonstration to the audience to show you exactly why you shouldn't buy a steering wheel from Wish.
With a NOS button.
With a Jesus Christ!
That wasn't much.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Imagine if your head hit that in a crash.
Imagine if your hands were just like on it. Look at that, man. It's turned into a fucking sandwich. Well, I think this is case in point, audience. This is why you don't buy a cheap steering wheel. Because imagine if you had a crash, and that's pretty much how it's going to end up looking. And if your hands are in that or your head's in that, it's not going to be very pretty. And then we'll compare this with that. This or that. Next up, just going to give her a quick little hoover because she's pretty dirty inside. Then after that, I'm going to go and get the Honda Civic and start doing the clutch. Giving the interior a nice little hoover out. I will do the outside at some point before the guys at Car Butler Detailing come and do a proper detail. Yeah, that's what the wheel looks like with the interior nice and clean. Seagull. I've also got the little dice in place, just as a kind of like a remembrance for the old BBS RMs. I think that looks pretty sick. We are back on the open road. I can report the steering wheel is nice and straight. The car is driving true. I'm going to pop back now and do a load of packing because I've had quite a few orders this morning. Don't forget as well, Vasara Sim, we're giving away a £14,000 simulator, as you guys probably know by now. Got about 350 tickets left, so we've sold over 1,150. That's my E-grade GCSE maths coming out there. The simulator is absolutely next level, and most importantly, you can come and do some fat skids with me. Next up, I'm going to be grabbing the Honda Civic, which a chap called Elliot from Bogdan Regis won. Congratulations to Mr. Elliot. The clutch in the Civic was pretty much on its last legs. Obviously, I didn't want to give away the car with it needing work doing to it, so I'm going to go and grab the car now, grab the XZE clutch that I bought for it, and yeah, do a clutch change with Mr. Scouse. Ta-da! Ta-da! As you absolute lovelies can see, the Honda Civic is back in business. We're going to be doing the clutch any minute now. Pretty goddamn sick. Mr. Elliot won this car for the wholesome price of £10. Very cheap. SR20, baby. Oh, that's horrible. E46 is about to leave the building. The boys have done a massive amount of work on this car. He should have a pretty tight rear end. Why is that, James? Strongflex UK. What is she? 3 litre? 330?
Yeah.
And you put what, like 35 hours into doing bushes, subframe?
Yeah, I think we've got about 35 hours in it. Yeah, the
Underseal?
Chassis reinforcement, underseal, load of bushes, new arms, all sorts.
Start the old Nonda up. Actually sounds pretty fruity, to be fair. Oh yeah, one sec. It's got aftermarket external door opening mechanism. She has developed a bit of a blow from the exhaust. To be fair, it does sound pretty sick. We'll have a little look in a second though, see if we can patch it up. Well, I think we found the exhaust blow. That is definitely not attached anymore.
Active exhaust system?
Unfortunately, we will need to get a new back box at some point. Over here we have the new XZE clutch kit. Only the best will do. XZE norms, clutch release bearing, and inside there you'll have the clutch pressure plate and the disc as well. We've just ordered a new back box for the rear to sort out the problem up there. Jamie's also spotted that we need a set of front lower ball joints. There's an excessive amount there, so we've ordered a couple of ball joints for it as well. Responsible Monkey London raffles for the win. Apart from that though, the car is actually pretty clean underneath. On the list we've got back box, we've got ball joints, and then we've got the clutch, and after that she should be pretty much good to go.
Bit muddy.
Very muddy, Dom.
Bit muddy.
This ball joint is undone. This side hopefully is a bit more gentle persuasion from Mr. Kate, yeah.
1 hour later.
There we go. Other ball joint is loose.
One doodle shaft.
Show us your flex. Second drive shaft completed it, mate. Next up, we're just going to be tackling the gearbox mount. We've got to undo these 3 bolts. You can just see there, 1, 2, 3. Scouse has just found a little bit of clutch which has actually come out. That's actually part of the clutch, as you guys can see, pretty foobarred. That is everything done on the top half. We're now going to chuck the car back in the air and start tackling all the bolts underneath. Now got the box supported with this stand, and then Mr. Jamie K up the top, just undoing the bolts. Guys, look up here, you can now see we've got access to the clutch and the flywheel. Jamie's just undoing one of the mounts up the top so we can get enough room just to shimmy the whole gearbox over. That's the clutch cover and disc. Oh, look at that. Loads of meat left on that.
Well, you're mugging yourself off there, mate. You can definitely do another 5 miles on that.
It's one of them single puck clutches.
Fucking hell. So yeah, that is an absolutely battered clutch. Look at all that, loads of meat on this bad boy. Meaty! Looking nice and clean, obviously really important because the release bearing has got to slide up and down here. So yeah, you've got to make sure it's nice and clean, minimal friction. Next up, a little bit of lube. Okay, what happened?
Your camera's rubbish.
Yay! Fortunately, we did put the clutch in last night. But the memory card decided to corrupt and we lost a few of the files. Needless to say, Scouse is a legend, and Jamie K of course. Gearbox and clutch is all back in place, looking good. We've removed the lower ball joints, back box is on the floor. So we're pretty much now just waiting for Eurocar parts to arrive with some bits and we can finish off the Honda. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, mate.
Good night.
Right, see you guys soon.